Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today I'm taking a look at the very troubling new lawsuit that the state of Texas is bringing against General Motors, one of the largest automakers in the world. Let's jump into it. Let me start off by stating why I'm covering this story. About 6 months ago, a friend of mine said to me, "Have you heard the latest conspiracy theory about car insurance?" I naturally had not, and my friend went on to tell me that people have the theory that their car's smart features are sending driving data back to the manufacturer, and that data was being used by car insurance companies to adjust the rates of policyholders. At the time, I brushed this off as very unlikely. Well, according to this new lawsuit by the state of Texas, this is 100% true and has been going on for some time. Here I have the actual lawsuit that Texas filed against GM. I've picked out some of the rather interesting details to share. Let's get into it. But for years, consumers who purchased GM vehicles also unwittingly opted into an all-seeing surveillance system. General Motors deceptively collected scores of data points from consumers about their driving habits, monetized that data by selling it to other commercial actors, and permitted those actors to use the ill-gotten data to make adverse decisions when dealing with those same consumers. Quote, all-seeing surveillance system? Yikes, that's pretty rough. Pretty Orwellian, actually. Here they use the phrase, quote, other commercial actors, but as you'll see lower down, that means car insurance companies. Also, I'll call out the phrase, quote, in order to make adverse decisions when dealing with those same customers, unquote. So it's pretty obvious how an insurance company could use the data from your vehicle as a rationale for raising your rates. Suppose you drive over the speed limit often, or you brake heavily. That could be a reasonable justification for raising your insurance rates. However, shouldn't the opposite be true as well? Let's say the car data showed that you drive like a grandma. Shouldn't that information be used to lower your rate? Does anybody want to take a bet on how many drivers saw their insurance rates go down because of this data? Does anyone actually think that insurance companies use this data to reduce a single driver's rate? Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be taking that bet. And also I'll mention that car insurance companies are regulated at the state level in the United States. How is it possible that not a single state regulator found out about this spying and raised an alarm? Not one. These boards of insurance at the state level are completely captured by the insurance industry. What a joke. Let's read a little bit lower down here in section 3. The driving data collected and sold by General Motors included data from over 14 million of its vehicles and more than 1.8 million Texans. 14 million cars. Wow. So GM produces about 6 million cars per year. So 14 million represents more than 2 full years worth of production. So it's not a trivial amount. Let's continue. That driving data consisted of the date, start time, end time, vehicle speed, driver and passenger seatbelt status, and distance driven each time a customer drove their GM vehicle. So they know everything about your driving, how fast you're going, whether or not you're wearing a seatbelt. The only thing missing would be GPS data. And the hits keep on coming. If you keep reading this document, it's quite lengthy. I'll keep it short. First, GM created a, quote, telematics exchange, unquote, as a way to sell this data. And included in the data was a, quote, driving score, unquote. This score was used by insurance companies to increase premiums as well as to deny or drop coverage. And the cherry on top, GM created incentives for dealership employees to enroll customers in the data collection scheme. Oh man, this thing stinks to high heaven. The state of Texas just won a lawsuit against Meta Facebook for their storage of biometric data that they generated by processing old Facebook photos. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm really not sure of the technical details of the law here, but I don't think GM and car insurance companies are going to be all that sympathetic to a jury, especially when the jury hears about how many drivers got screwed over by this Orwellian scheme. But that's about it for this story. This seems like a case where the difference between the conspiracy theory and conspiracy fact is about 6 months. And with that, I'll leave it there. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.